What are your thoughts on the ICE climate blessings? I've seen right-wing Christians condemn the Pope over that. So the Pope blessed some ice at a climate conference. And I must say, I don't really care about what the Pope did here. His blessing invoked Christ, so it's not some kind of animism thing. And ice is just water, and Catholics bless water. So I don't think this is some sort of idol that he is blessing. And look, speaking about helping the environment, preserving the environment is a conservative idea. Back to the land is a traditional idea. But I think the larger issue is the whole event and the Pope's involvement. This is ultimately a material scientific question. It's not something the Pope can really answer. The Pope can give prudential judgments drawing from moral theology about how we should respond to scientific questions. But the issue is that the science itself is disputed. We don't know the extent of climate change, man's exact involvement in it, or how the poor are disproportionately affected by it. I think it's to be expected then that the Pope would weigh in on such matters. But the issue is that I don't think the other side of the dialogue that critiques the climate activists for using a crisis to push their own ideological agenda, that side is never heard. And so the Pope just comes across here as being involved in partisan ideological propaganda. Especially since this whole event just looks ridiculous. I don't even think this stuff was cool back in the 1960s. I don't know anybody who is overly enthused about this whole aesthetic.
Laudato si, mi Signore.
But the ethos or the vibe here is ultimately related to a deeper problem, the culture surrounding the papacy and the Curia. And as much as we would want someone like a Pius XIII to come in and shake everything up and make everything trad again, that's just playing with dolls. These kinds of cultural changes take a long time to happen, and it probably won't significantly change under this pontificate. I also think there is a risk that we should be aware of falling into a cycle of trying to prove a narrative, showing that the Pope is based or cringe every single time the Pope does anything at all. For example, the Pope's recent comments on the death penalty were problematic, but that does not make everything he did at this climate conference problematic in the same way. If we are confident in our theological and spiritual positions, we should feel no need of having that stress at the back of our neck, making us want to prove a narrative every time the Pope does something.